big a deal of the terror threat?
I don't think we make too big of a deal of the terror threat. My number one job is to protect the American people. My number one priority right now is defeating ISIL. My number one priority throughout my presidency has been going after terrorist networks that would attempt to do harm to Americans inside or outside of America. My point is that how we do it is important. That we have to make sure that we abide by our laws. We have to make sure that we abide by our values. And we have to make sure that what we do doesn't end up being counterproductive. So when I hear some candidates saying we should carpet bomb innocent civilians, that is not a productive approach to defeating terrorism. When I hear people suggesting that we should ban all Muslims from entering the country, that is not a good approach to defeating terrorism. Our approach has to be smart.
But the pushback against this, and when you say more people die in bathtub accidents, and I understand you're not saying it's unimportant, but you're saying we can't overreact to it, is bathtub manufacturers aren't trying to kill us and they're not trying to up the body count. I think it's fair to say that some of the sharpest criticism of you from both sides during your presidency has been the way that you've responded personally, not necessarily in policy, to terror attacks. After James Foley's beheaded, you went out and played golf. After Paris, you said it was a setback.
Even as we grieve with our French friends, however, we can't lose sight that there has been progress being made.
After San Bernardino, you talked about gun control.
Right now, people on the no-fly list can walk into a store and buy a gun. That's insane.
And some people wonder, they think the concern is, do you worry about terrorism and feel the threat of terrorism the way they do?
And I would say this. There isn't a president who's taken more terrorists off the field than me over the last 7.5 years. I'm the guy who calls the families or meets with them or hugs them or tries to comfort a mom or a dad or a husband or a kid after a terrorist attack. So let's be very clear about how much I prioritize this. This is my number one job.